Good afternoon, everybody.
Hi.
Oh, uh-oh. Doesn't sound very good. See what we got today.
Why is the president bragging today about gas prices?
Because it's gone down.
It's still $1.72 higher than when he took office.
It has come down in a way that we haven't seen its trajectory coming down in over a decade.
Still
and
over
it is
$4 a gallon, though.
okay.
Is that good?
You want to talk to a nurse or a teacher or a firefighter if having that little bit of breathing room doesn't matter to
Are
them?
nurses and teachers and firefighters saying gas prices are only $4.11?
I'm saying
This is great.
I'm saying that even that little bit of breathing room matters to families, especially during this summer when people are traveling, when people...
Why do you think people are continuing to drop out of the labor market?
Say that one more time. Can you say more?
The labor force participation rate is at its lowest level of the year now. Why do you think that is?
So participation actually ticked up,
It declined 0.1 percentage points to 62.1%, the lowest level of the year.
So it actually ticked up for prime age workers when you look at 25 to 54, and for workers 65 and plus. The tick down this month was actually about teenagers.
For most people, wages for those jobs are just not keeping up with inflation. So fundamentally, is the anxiety we're hearing from Americans about the economy really an issue of wages and benefits? And what is the administration still doing to work on that?
Look, we understand what Americans are feeling. The president understands that very personally. This is why he has done the work that he's done this past 18 months to get the economy going again. And now with inflation as well, with cost going up for Americans, he's focused on that. This is something that we continue to watch very closely, and we're going to continue to do the work to make sure that Americans feel relief. And so that work doesn't stop. And we know that there's more work to do.
I was hoping, could you address a new CBO analysis about the Inflation Reduction Act that says it would have almost no impact or a negligible impact on inflation in 2022 and 2023?
So I'll say this, leading economists have said that this Inflation Reduction Act that's been analyzed by them, that's been looked at by these economists, will indeed reduce inflation.
230 economists wrote letters to Congress saying that the Inflation Reduction Act would actually add to inflation. Penn Wharton's budget model said the same thing. If there's a chance that these people are right, is now the right time to do this, considering how high inflation is?
Is it a dismissing of the CBO, though? And is it fair? I mean, is it appropriate to brand it as the Inflation Reduction Act when it will have such a little effect in the next 2 years when people are feeling it right now?
Well, if you think about the Reduction Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, it will have an effect also. It should be called the Inflation Reduction Act because that's exactly what it's going to do. It is an anti-inflation bill that the president is grateful for, and it's historic.
So the president talked about creating 613,000 manufacturing jobs since February of 2020, but only 41,000 of those have actually been created. The rest have been added back. So is that misleading the American public?
No, we don't think so. I mean, I just talked about this. If you think about, when we talk about U.S. manufacturing is back, it's still the fastest recovery.
It's not creating those jobs. It's adding back the vast majority and creating 41,000.
But we're talking about recovery, right? The fastest recovery.
The economy created 32,000 jobs since February of 2020. As you said, has added back the rest of those jobs. Is that the significant progress for working families the president's talking about?
Well, we have to step back to where we were 18 months ago. We think we're still heading into a transition to more stable and steady growth. That's how we see things. But again, we're going to continue to do the work.
But some economists and some of the financial markets say that there's fears that means inflation could stay elevated. What does the White House think this report tells us about inflation?
So today, as you saw from the president's statement, the unemployment rate matches the lowest it's been, and we're going to just continue to do the work. Inflation clearly is something that people truly feel at home around their kitchen table, and the president has a plan.
So just to clarify, though, you don't think this report tells us much about the path? of inflation going forward, or do you think it does?
What we think is that this is good news. Comes to inflation, again, the president has a plan. He's going to continue to do his part.